Hello, Pisces. Welcome to Lotus Heart Tarot. I am so happy to have you guys here. If you are returning and are a commenter, a liker, a sharer, a subscriber, I thank you so much for your support on my channel. I do really appreciate it. If you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome. Just keep in mind that these are general readings, so take what resonates and leave the rest. This reading is for Pisces. How will lionsgate affect Pisces? How will lionsgate affect Pisces? Okay, Pisces, I just want to let you know I did attempt to do this reading 3 times yesterday and had technical difficulties each time. Just a reminder that Mercury retrograde is here and in full force. All right, yes, Pisces. Ooh-wee. You have a merge, movement, and past coming up for Lionsgate. I'm actually going to do this differently than I thought I was going to, but I like to go with the flow, and this is how I'm being guided. What is this emerging energy? What is this emerging energy? What is this emerging energy? Okay. Okay. You have conflicted on the bottom of the deck. What is the past energy? What is the past energy? What is the past energy? Okay. Pisces, this has been coming out, oh my gosh, with beginnings on the bottom of the deck. Pisces, this energy has been coming out for a while. There has been this energy of like the caterpillar crawling into the cocoon and becoming the butterfly. And that's what seems to be happening here. You're emerging into some kind of relationship here. You know, with the past, you have obscurity, pain, and perspective. And this is one of those things where, you know, when we're living life forward, we oftentimes, you know, we're consumed by, or we're gripped by our feelings or by what's happening or by, you know, it's like it's consuming. How do I want to say it? We don't have any space or distance between us and what's happening to really get perspective or to really say, okay, you know, this really feels like a big deal right now, but like 5 years from now, it's not going to matter. A long time ago, I read an Instagram meme and it said, if it's not going to matter in 5 years, then don't spend more than 5 minutes on it. And I always try to remind myself of that. I try to remind my kids of that. Just that, you know, oftentimes things seem really huge and really insurmountable, and this person did this to me, and then I've got it coming this way, and this is happening at the same time, this is happening, and this is just sort of starting to overwhelm me. It's especially important in those moments to just sort of zoom out and say, well, this is a moment in time. I've faced other difficult moments in time. I've gotten through them. I will get through this. And it feels like in your past, there were a lot of cycles like that were really difficult, that it's like, you know, you may have felt really unseen or uncared for or unappreciated with this obscurity. And I feel like, you know, there was pain involved. There was a lot of questioning the self. And in this perspective card with this light coming through the clouds, I don't even know if it's the moon or the sun, and I don't really care. It's just light coming through the clouds. It's clarity emerging through confusion or through kind of brain fog or through, you know, living it forward, you know, through not understanding why everything is happening and not understanding why everything is happening the way that it's happening, or, you know, do you deserve this, or is this your lot in life? Is this just your destiny? Are you doomed to repeat these cycles over and over again? Like, what is going on? And the thing about time is, you know, they say time heals all wounds, and I'm not too sure if time heals all wounds, but time certainly gives us space. And in space, we can gain perspective. When we can look back and we're safely out of the trauma, when we're safely out of the situation, when we know that we made it to the other side, when we know we survived, we can look back and we can say, oh, okay, that's why that happened. And it feels like you're having a moment like that. With this Lionsgate, it feels like you're having a moment where things are starting to become clear that were very confusing or that were not obvious. And you on this perspective card, it literally says better off, happiness, clear headspace. So yeah, you know, this is definitely, the perspective is the energy of the Hangman, right? And so this is definitely like, I'm beginning to see why things happen the way that they happened, or why certain things didn't work out, or, you know, what I gained or what I learned, or where the gift was in that situation that I went through back there. In this emergence, you have some pretty confusing energy, and it may be tied to what you're getting clarity on here, Pisces, but you have twin flames, you have influence, and you have elusive. And this influences energy is attachments, third-party peers, and this elusive is dishonesty, deception, trickery. And then you have twin flames, mirroring, shared feelings, and reflection. So there is this energy where you may be you may be experiencing some kind of third-party situation, or you may have. Keep in mind, a third party doesn't necessarily mean it's like another love interest. It can sometimes be like a job, a family, a friend group, something that is taking priority or that is kind of messing with your situation. It's not allowing someone to be wholeheartedly loyal to you, really. And it's, I think you're getting clarity. There is a reflection of this that may be tied or connected with the spider web to this past cycle that you're closing out. This may be where you're not willing to compromise something that maybe you were willing to compromise in the past, because you've gained a perspective that compromising that always led to your pain, always led to you feeling like you were not seen or heard or cared for or appreciated. And it's kind of like, I get the sense that you're willing to care for, see, appreciate, and love yourself. And so, you know, if someone is going to make you feel like this, they're just not worth it. But there is something that has occurred here recently, or is occurring around this time, possibly around Lionsgate, that is illuminating possibly how far you've come, or how this cycle in your life has really affected you, and how you may no longer willing to be making compromises or be making yourself available to situations where it's obvious from the beginning that this is a potential outcome, or even a likely outcome, even if it is a strong soulmate connection. The mirroring, shared feelings, and reflection here on this twin flame cards is letting me know that this is letting you know that whatever's happening here is letting you know where you stand with yourself. And when you close out a cycle like this, and I'm not saying you're ending things with your twin flame forever or anything like that. I am just simply saying, when you are no longer willing to compromise things that you were willing to compromise because you learned the lesson through feeling this way, and you've taken the time to get the perspective on it, and you're going to make a different choice here. That's how we close out a cycle. That's how we get a new cycle, is we make a different choice. And you do have a beginning here. So you do have an opportunity. Oh my gosh, underneath that is this amazing loyalty card. I love this card. Obviously, you guys know I'm a dog lover. But there is no loyalty like these little beings that come down just from the angelic realm to teach us all about love. Yeah, it feels like you were stuck in some kind of cycle. With this movement here, something is giving, something is changing. It may be that you're actually having movement in a twin flame situation because you aren't willing to compromise the same things that you were, that kind of kept you in a perpetual cycle like this. Or it may be that you're not willing to, you're seeing the reflection, you're seeing the truth about the situation, and you may be moving on. You may be leaving something behind, okay? Let's go ahead and get into these clarifying cards and further look at this right before we jump into the tarot. Guys, we had a little bit of a hurricane also. So not only did I have technical difficulty, but I've had rain and heavy wind and, oh my goodness, a lot of things going on. Okay. Wow, you guys have walking unscathed and protected. You're protecting yourself. That is what I'm getting. Oh my gosh, Pisces. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you guys, literally. Okay, so in the past situation, that is all being clarified by on the mend. Be compassionate and kind to yourself as you heal your heart. You know, healing is not linear, it's cyclical. I say this all the time, but it is one of these things where, you know, our past keeps coming back, and it keeps, you know, giving us an opportunity to make a different decision. And, you know, sometimes it's hard, and sometimes we slip up, and sometimes we're messy, and sometimes it's messy. And so it is just important to just love ourselves through it and say, you know what, you're doing the best you can. I'm proud of you. You know, you're making strides, you're doing things, you're accomplishing things, you're achieving things. You're not where you used to be, and you're not willing to accept this cycle again. And that is enough. That is something that matters. It's worth a lot. You do have this hurtful event and this frost of stillness. And it feels like there is some period of time in between this past situation and in between what's happening now, where it's like things didn't really feel like they were changing. You may not have seen, this is like fire and ice. You know what I mean? It's almost like two extremes. You may not have really seen the evidence of the changes that you were making, or the healing that you were doing, or the perspective that was changing, or the different choices that you were making, but it was there underneath the surface the whole time. And now it's really emerging. You are, you know, when we're still in the energy of the hurt and we still feel on fire, we react to everything. We don't respond. We don't take a breath. We don't analyze ourselves. We don't ask ourselves what is in the highest and best good of us to respond in this moment, or do we even respond, or do we not respond at all? Is that our best choice? We're just, it's hot. We're still hurting from it, and it shows in the way we respond and react. And it feels like you're freezing out this part of you. It feels like you are becoming less someone who is much more difficult to trigger, someone who's much more in control of themselves, someone who really knows who they are. And you have this wish granted, you have fantasy land, and you have emerging dawn on this emerge card. So you definitely are coming into a much better time where I feel like your wishes could be granted, where, you know, your visualizations matter, what you're asking for from spirit, what you're manifesting, especially with this Leo new moon that we just had. The next 2 or 3 days, you may really want to spend some time intentionally visualizing or manifesting what you want. This is the time to do it. This is the most powerful time to do it. And especially with lionsgate approaching, all these energies are sort of, you know, feeling like they're coming together in a powerful time. And so, you know, this is about believing that you have changed, and because you have changed, what you are going to experience is going to change. And that, you know, it is a highly likely that your wishes will be granted, that now is the time, because now you're not willing to accept the things that you were willing to accept before. You also have walking unscathed at the bottom of the deck, and it says, you are a fortunate trap. You are fortunate. Trap was laid out for you, but you were too smart to fall for it. Oh my gosh, that's exactly what I'm saying with this react respond thing. It's like you've made a different choice, and now the die is cast. It's like, okay, you know, if a past person is going to show up, they really do have to show up in a different energy. If someone new is going to show up, they have to be someone who is free and clear of third-party situations and is ready to really commit and to show up for you. You're not risking it. You're not going to let people who may or may not see your worth or value into your energy field. You're just not going to, because you know the potential pain that comes from that. The Lovers on the bottom of the deck, the Ten of Swords, and the Magician. Okay, guys, so this is like an energy of transmuting pain into pleasure, or pain into what we really want. It is a choice, right? All of life is choice. And when we experience something that hurts, a very difficult ending, we can sit with it, and sometimes we need to. So there's no judgment here. It's follow your own process. Let things unfold organically. But it's showing me that with Lionsgate, it's almost as if you are shedding a skin, or you're shedding that cocoon, It's like anything that would keep you small or would keep you in a space where, you know, you were made to feel less than, or you were made to feel unseen, uncared for, unimportant. It's like those shackles are just being taken off. You know what I mean? Because you're making different decisions for yourself. But it looks like there's some kind of difficult ending that has led to all of this energy. With the Magician here, there could have been someone who made false promises and never really showed up. And it may be that you believed the illusion. It may be even because you wanted to believe the illusion. Life is full of choices, right? With the Lovers card. But when we say, okay, I don't want illusion, I want something in the here and now. And when we say, yeah, these thoughts are really killing me. These thoughts are really draining my energy and making me feel crappy about myself and my situation. And we say, I'm not going to take that anymore. The one thing I have control over in this life is my thoughts, is my mental body. And I get to say, you know, if I allow these feelings to persist, or I allow these thoughts to persist, or if I don't, and I'm not going to do it. It doesn't serve my highest and best. And with the Magician, it's even like going a step further to say, I'm actually taking my power back, and I'm actually alchemizing this. I'm alchemizing this into all of my choices. I will not be here again. I will not allow the same thing to bring me back to this place one more time. I'm just not going to do it. I'm opening myself up to be a vessel of change, and to say, you know, all of my choices will reflect this. It's the integration of the lessons that we have learned. It's like saying, you know, I don't need to learn that lesson again. I've integrated it, and it will be reflected in every choice that I make heretofore. And it does look like you have a soulmate coming in here, Pisces, a new beginning with someone, as a result of letting something end, letting even a way of thinking, like taking charge of your mind or your thoughts, taking charge of an ending, deciding that this ending is not going to leave you in a place where you're broken, or where, you know, you are stuck with a lot of heavy and difficult thoughts. It's like you're taking this ending and you're saying, okay, wow, I really learned a lot, and every ending is a new beginning, and I'm going to take what I learned and I'm going to utilize it to be more discerning as I move forward. I know now better what it's going to take for me to reach my dreams, or for me to have exactly what I want in life. The Magician. Wow, the universe. See, you're closing out the cycle of regrets, and you are moving into an energy of possibility. Yeah, with the 5 of Pentacles here, with the 10 of Swords, this is like something that you lost, that feels like it's over. Oh, wow. Oh my God. You have twin flames, you have the 4 of Wands, and you have the Lovers, Pisces. There's a major soulmate coming in here. It feels like, holy moly, a tale as old as time. This is a major situation here. But first we're closing out this one, and we are, you know, it's important to really close out a cycle, and to not just push the feelings down and say, I'm not having these feelings. That is going to lead us to being easier to trigger instead of more difficult to trigger. When we're willing to just sit with our feelings and say, I have these feelings, I'm going to feel them, I'm going to let them run their course, I'm going to let them come out of my body in the form of tears, in the form of like yoga or meditation, like actually moving energy through my system, or finding a new perspective, or whatever. But I'm going to, when I say control my thoughts, it's like there's a difference between feeling the hurt, feeling the pain, feeling the betrayal, and really going down the rabbit's hole, blaming ourselves, you know, being critical of ourselves. This is all about being kind to ourselves. This is all about giving ourselves the compassion and empathy that we would give a best friend if they were to come to us in the same situation. This is about being our own best companion. And it's, you know, life isn't in never failing, or never having an ending, or never being taken advantage of, or never having a bad thing happen. Life is about how are you rising every time you fall? Are you really better off for the things that you're experiencing? Or are you living in a pretend world where it didn't happen, or where, you know, you can just play the victim for the rest of your life and think that that is somehow going to lead you to happiness? You know, it's not, right? So this is an energy of acknowledging the loss and acknowledging the difficulty of processing it, but giving yourself the time and space and the ability to actually grieve the grief. When you grieve, you don't just grieve the thing that you think you're grieving, you grieve everything. And it's purification for your soul. You know, they have done like microscopic studies of tears and they look like broken glass. You don't want that energy roaming around in your body. You don't want to carry that with you into this new beginning that you're coming into. You want to get that out. You want to purge it. You want to let it go. You want to get the clarity. You want to get the power from having experienced it. You know, the ability to discern, the ability to make decisions for yourself, the ability to empower yourself through your experiences. And with the magician, transmute them into something more positive. You know, making the statement to the universe. Go to a mountain and scream to the sky, I will not be in a situation like this again. I will not accept someone like this, universe. Stop sending me people like this, universe. This is what I want, universe. You know, do it. I feel like those things are powerful. You know, I feel like, you know, our words, our voice, sound carries power. So guys, I don't know, you know, take what resonates always and leave the rest. Yell it into the wind at the beach. You know, the beach is loud, and yeah, I mean, I don't know, do what you want to do. But you're trading in regrets and stagnation for evolution and possibilities with this universe card and the magician. You're taking what you have been given and what has let you down and disappointed you, and you are saying, it's like you're putting on, like, I'm getting like ceremoniously new clothes, you know what I mean? Or whatever. And you're going out into the world a different person. Not that you need to change or anything, but just, I'm not the sum total of my experiences in a negative way of this happened to me or that happened to me. But I am the sum total of, you know, my divinity, which allows me to take what has happened to me and transmute it into what I want in my life, which allows me to look at the things that have happened to me and empower myself with it by saying, wow, you survived, first of all. Second of all, you learned. Third of all, you went to the trouble of finding the gift. You purified yourself after the experience, and now you're brand new and you're better than ever, and you're ready for this new experience. So bring it on, universe. With the Four of Wands on the bottom of the deck, this is that energy of where what we're manifesting shows up in real life. So lionsgate is this time of like shedding an old skin, shedding an old way of being, shedding an old way of looking at things, shedding an old way of you know, what you allow into your life and what you don't. It's almost like, it feels very like ceremoniously, you know, like I keep getting that, like, you know, baptism type energy, or like, you know, graduation type energy, you know, like, classical music and organ music and stuff like that kind of energy. So take it as it resonates. But it does feel like, you know, okay, you're never going back there again, especially with the universe card here. For Pisces, Ace of Wands. Yeah, now it's time to get what you want. Wow. So you have the Queen of Swords and you have the Seven of Cups. Guys, you know, the Seven of Cups is Neptunian energy. It is like a very Piscean energy. It's an energy of the fantasy of, you know, when we're looking at what's in front of us, we see the possibility of what it could be or where it could go, or how it could work out perfectly. And that makes us very vulnerable and susceptible to, you know, people taking advantage of, you know, kind of leading us down a path of, yeah, that's what's happening here, when the Seven of Cups is talking about illusion. You have the Queen of Swords here, and this is like, You know, the Queen of Swords does not fall for illusion. The Queen of Swords sees things very clearly, and the Queen of Swords has been through the entire sword cycle, maybe a few times, but she's not fallen for a bunch of illusions anymore. She's very skeptical. She's very critical. She looks at everything with kind of a harsh eye. She's learned her lessons, and she's not interested in learning them again. She's not interested in repeating the cycle again. So with the Ace of Wands, it's like, with everything that looks like it might be what you want, you're going to be looking at it with a very discerning eye. You're going to be seeing things very clearly. There's a lot of energy of a clear head here, of not being swept away by the fantasy of it or the illusion of it, but instead seeing it for real, and maybe even asking harsh questions, or maybe even saying the things, or saying like, I need this, whatever it is that maybe you kind of pussyfooted around before, because you didn't want to lose the opportunity that was in front of your face, or whatever, or you thought this person won't like it if I say that. There's just this energy of, I'm willing to say it now, because I don't need anything outside myself. I know I am strong enough, and I know that it's not worth it to allow myself to fall for an illusion. So yeah, with the Queen of Swords, with the Wheel of Fortune, this is a big change. You may have been riding the outside of this Wheel of Fortune very up and down, very much like, I'm in love. Oh my gosh, this person just betrayed me. Or, you know, like things look like they're working out. No, they didn't. Kind of energy. And it's led you to this place where you're like, okay, I know the smartest place for me to be is the center of the wheel. And in order to stay in the center of the wheel, I have to treasure my own peace, my own sense of consciousness, my own, you know, grounded and centered best and highest self, in order to stay in the center of this wheel. And that means not getting swept away in a fantasy. With the Six of Pentacles here, it's like you are only looking for what someone is actually giving, what they are actually investing. Are they reciprocating wholly? And you're looking at this with a very discerning eye. You know, it's like, I texted you, you're texting me back, or I'm not texting you again, kind of energy. And then on the bottom of the deck, you have the Eight of Cups. Yeah, you're not afraid to walk away from something. With the Seven of Cups to the Eight of Cups, you have made progress. If something reveals itself to be a fantasy, you're not going to stay there and be like, well, maybe it could still pan out. No, you're like, I'm walking away. I am looking for a very specific emotional contentment in my life. This isn't it, and I know that it's not it, and so I'm walking away from it. With the Ace of Wands, it's like you are going to get what you want. You are going to get an opportunity at what you want here, Pisces. The more you don't accept the things that aren't for you, the more you will, you know, receive the things that are. Wow, you're getting the High Priest in this deck, it's called, which is the Hierophant. And you're getting the Three of Wands and the Page of Wands. Pisces, I feel like you're holding things out at a distance and really evaluating them right here, right now. It's like you may even sense that your ships are coming in. But, you know, with these butterfly wings here, there is a sense of I am not the same person looking out on the same path in front of me. I am different. The way I'm looking at things and what I'm looking for and what I'm willing to accept have all changed. And when those things have changed, that's a pretty dramatic change. Everything around it will change. You're still very open to the abundance of life with this Three of Wands. It's just that you are not like, oh, how could this fulfill my fantasy? You're like, let me see this for what it is. Let me be careful. Let me plan. Let me strategize. Let me hold it at a distance and not just let it in because it looks like something I may want. Let me hold it at arm's length for a while and evaluate it. I'm not desperately trying to get something in here. With the Page of Wands, this is like, I know I will pounce. I know I am open to receiving what I want. And so when it appears, I will not be afraid. I will not second guess. I will take that leap of faith. I will, with the Page of Wands, it's like, I will claim that path. I will say, yes, this is what I want. And every decision I make will reflect that. And there will be a confidence behind it because I will have watched it. I will have observed exactly what it is, and I will feel comfortable and confident to really make this choice when it comes to me. With the High Priest here, this is like a long-term commitment. And the High Priest is also the spiritual gatekeeper. And so this is sort of a form of ascension for you. This is sort of you're stepping more into almost like an ethereal power. you know, it's part of Pisces nature to buy into the fantasy and to be that kind of whimsical fairy nymph type energy, right? Where it's like, okay, how bad could this be? This looks like my fantasy. But with the high priest, it's like, it's almost the masculine energy of the high priestess of like, I've listened to my intuition and I'm taking action on it. And I'm not listening to whims. I'm not believing fantasy or fairy tale. I'm not just believing it because this is what this person is telling me that this is. It's like, I'll believe it when I actually see it. And with the Three of Wands, it's like that keeping the distance. People cannot maintain a charade or an illusion. They're fleeting, right? You can't maintain it over the course of a long period of time. So you may be taking your time getting to know someone, and this is showing like spiritual advancement. It's showing that you understand the value of, you know, not experiencing unnecessary suffering and pain, and that you are making better choices for yourself. And even if you have the desire, like, oh, I want to be in a relationship, or oh, I just want companionship, or I want to be understood, or I want to be loved, or I want to be seen, you're standing back from it, and you're like, we'll see what happens, you know, we'll let it reveal itself. And this is showing like major advancement spiritually and in every way here for you, Pisces. Okay, I'm just going to clarify these and then we'll get some message cards. It feels like Lionsgate it's almost like it's pulling down some kind of curtain in your life. You have, wow, the unknown, and then what is this? Okay, the Queen of Pentacles. This is just... I feel like you're not in an energy where you're like, I'm just not open to anything. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we can get in that self-protective energy where we're like, I'm just not open to new energies, or I'm just not open to the possibilities right now. I don't want to get hurt. That's not what you're in. You are really open. You are really open. You're just not giving everyone access to that intimate inner sanctum that is you. And you're making people earn their way in through vulnerability, compassion, reciprocation, like all of those kinds of things. It says divine faith here, and the opposite on this card is egotism. It's like you want to know that the person that you're linking up with believes in the same things that you believe in, and is, you know, it doesn't have to be the exact same thing, but it's kind of like, I believe that you have to be good to people. I believe in karma or whatever, you know what I mean? It's not like I believe in everything serving me, you know, with egotism. With the Page of Wands, you're getting providing, and the Queen of Buttons. And this is saying, I know what I deserve. And when I see what I deserve come to me, then I will take the leap of faith. I will claim it. I will go for it with my full heart. But the most important thing here, Pisces, is your own emotional contentment. And that is your priority. And it's pretty amazing. It's pretty awesome how you're protecting it and how you're, you know, making these choices with this deeper knowledge and this deeper goal and this deeper vision for yourself. And the Lionsgate, I feel like, is an energy where it's leading you toward opportunities to make these choices for yourself. All right, so that can be an ex coming back. Maybe one that deserves you, maybe one that doesn't. You know, it can be something new coming in, but your choices reflect how you feel about yourself at this time. And I think you're doing pretty good. All right, if you're dealing with a water sign, I do love you. Lean on your inner circle during this time. I left before you could leave me. I wonder how you feel. I would do it all again. Children are important to this partnership. If you're dealing with a fire sign, I am in a committed relationship. I still feel the pain. Old wounds and childhood issues need revisiting. I wish I had treated you better. I know I was a distraction from your pain. If you're dealing with an earth sign, you are getting the attraction you feel is mutual. I remember every detail of that day. I am not over you. I see life differently. I want to make amends. I look for you everywhere. And clear your energy field and focus on yourself before acting. Some of you, I do feel like you have a past person coming back around who's there. I feel the energy is not right. Like, just take that as it resonates and know that, like, you know, this is for you to make your own choice. Like, this is for you to listen to your own intuition. If you're dealing with an air sign, this is a divine counterpart connection. I know you don't feel the same. You and I were too young, detached with love to clearly see the truth. Pisces, this is what I have for you. I hope it helps. I hope it brings you some peace and clarity. I think Lionsgate is all about you shedding an old skin and stepping out into the unknown, into a new beginning with a new integrated discernment at your disposal, you know, armed with a new superpower. And I think you're going to be getting a lot of opportunities here to utilize it and see where it takes you. All right, until next time, Pisces, I send you off with all my very best. I love you guys so much. Bye for now.